One of the very hard lessons for private investigators to learn and understand is you never overlook even the obvious. If you think it's obvious, question it. Understand that everything you do will be in front of a judge or jury someday, so make sure you're very careful. One of the cases that I learned how to be even more careful was a murder case that was in Southern California. I was hired by a family member whose nephew was missing. So the first thing we did was to go to the house where the nephew was last seen. And there, I was able to go into the person's room. I was able to interview his roommate and see the general conditions of how he lived. The roommate was nonchalant and not very cooperative to begin with, but he did let me into the house and I got a feel of the room, etc. I noticed something very odd in the room that I wasn't paying much attention to because the police now had already been to this room, had done a crime scene analysis, had taken fingerprints and photographs and everything. So there wasn't much more for me to do than understand maybe a little bit of the karma that might be in the room that might lead me. On the wall, I saw what appeared to be toothpaste smeared. So I took my pen out and I pulled out the toothpaste, and on the other side of the wall was a bullet. I said, that is very odd. So I found 6 more holes with toothpaste and bullets, which led me to say, this is probably where this person at least was shot or maybe died. So I went to the roommate and I started to question him, and my instincts told me, the interview and interrogation skills immediately told me he was lying and there was much more to it. So instead of making a grandiose plan, which some investigators might do, I wanted to give the police department out there a chance to clean their own linen. So I called them back out and said, you guys might want to redo this crime scene because there's bullets here. After they came out, we both together questioned the roommate, who advised us that when he came home from his trip, my client's nephew had not fed his dog. He became enraged, loaded up a .22 rifle that had a clip of 14 rounds in it, and he shot the nephew 8 times, and in so doing, he sprayed 7 bullets into the walls. He then put the body in a bag, put it in his car, in his trunk, and took it out to the desert and buried it. And he then led us out to the desert where the grave was dug up by professionals and the body was recovered. Not a great ending to a case where the uncle was hoping his nephew would have a better outcome, but it's always stuck with me. Always look at something that looks black and white, but it's not black and white. And there's always a chance that you might be able to solve a crime if you're just a little more diligent.